Hello, Instagram, and hello, Facebook. It is great to be on here again. I think it was maybe was a couple of weeks ago now that I was live. So welcome to Come Paint With Me. Da, 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 da. We are back. I am just going to share this post, so bear with me a second. Yes, so tonight we are literally going to be talking broccoli. Now, you've heard me say, you've heard me say many times that I am amazing at talking broccoli, but literally tonight we are going to be talking broccoli, and I will explain in a few minutes. Okay, so that should have, yeah. You know what, it looks like my husband is online as well. Or it might be that he was online earlier. So I'm sure Molly just wants to come and say hello. So I'll just show you Molly. Molly. Here's Molly. But we're not talking about chihuahuas tonight. We are talking about broccoli. Let me just get that better so that that you can see me better. The light is so much better on Instagram, but hey. Right, you're not able to see. I've obviously, bear with me a second. These things are always trial and error. I want you to see the, there we go. Right, okay, right. I need that page. Fantastic. Well, you want to come up here? She wants to play. Okay, there is Reggie. So, Reggie, don't forget to share this post. Thank you for all your support. You know, so I did a live last night on a different channel, and Molly, do you know what? She wasn't so bad. She was okay. She did bark her. Oh, thank you, love. He's my biggest champion. She was okay. She wasn't too bad. I did have to get up once, so hopefully I won't have to get up too many times to sort her out. But yes, I am. I shouldn't say this on here, but Reggie is away. For all of you who know my hubby, he is away, hard working away, and away for a few weeks. So I'm having to do all my own setups and everything. It's not so much of a big setup on this, and wow, it's already 8 minutes past 7. So we need to get into this. We need to get into this live. So I'm going to continue painting. As we do that, do you know what I realised the other day? I don't have any decent, like really thin, long brushes. So I know we've been doing this painting for a little while, but you know, this show. It's not just about the painting, but it's also okay. So I'm using. Oh, that's so much better. I'm using a better paint today. I'm using like a professional paint, because quite often I use the stuff that the not so professionals use. Oh yeah, well, kind of wish you could do that, but I don't think that's going to happen. He was going to come back, but it wasn't going to work. It was not going to be worth our while. So He's staying out there for another week, maybe another 2 weeks. So I will have to do without him. It's so funny, right? Sorry, we're going to talk about broccoli in a minute. Do you know, I'm kind of talking about broccoli right now, but this is kind of like drivel broccoli. But anyway, just to say that even though I was single for a very long time, you know what? We'll talk about that sometime. We'll talk about that as one of our subjects, because this is a Come Paint With Me talk show where I'm going to talk about different subjects. And there's some exciting ones that I've been thinking about, and I'm going to have some guests on here as well. And you know, sometimes they're going to be artists, and other times they're not going to be artists. We're just going to have a conversation while I paint. But yeah, I was single for a very long time. I was single until I was almost 40. Okay, don't do the maths of like how old I am. But yeah, it's amazing how even after only being married less than 10 years, so I'll say that, less than 10 years, it's you just get used to having somebody around. I remember when we first started dating, even when we'd only been going out, and we'll have this as a subject another night, or I'll talk more about it. I'll be coming over next weekend. I don't know if he means this weekend or next weekend. By the way, next weekend is Mother's Day. As in the weekend you're talking about is Mother's Day. And one of our family members has a dance that I said I'd go and see. But hey, we'll see. We'll talk about that later. So, yeah, and I remember when he wasn't around, when he went back or I didn't see him, that I felt like I'd lost an arm. It was very strange because I'd been single for so long, but it's amazing how quickly you just get used to having another half. You get used to them always being around. So I have to kind of revert back to, okay, how did I do things when I was single? Kind of, not completely obviously, but yeah. So, Molly, oh, here we go, naughty chihuahua, come up here. No, she wants me to play. So, okay, let's talk about broccoli. So tonight, as I'm painting this, and as I'm painting fruit, it kind of has something to do with it. We are going to talk about literally your mother-in-law's birthday. Oh wait, this weekend your mother-in-law's birthday. Oh, you want me to come like next weekend? Okay. I am not going to run after you, Molly. Here we go. Oh dear. I swear she's going to destroy my life. Well, if we don't manage to talk about broccoli this week, and we're going to talk broccoli obviously, but whether it's the green variety or the nonsense variety is another matter. And I'm wearing a green jumper to think that we're talking broccoli. Oh, you see, if Reggie was here, he would be able to do this. I'm hoping I'm going to tire her out so that so that she doesn't. Oh, I just painted my. Oh boy. How am I going to do this? I want to talk to you, and I need to also play with the dog. Oh, really well, Molly. Hopefully she'll get tired of this in a minute. I'm still painting. For those of you on Instagram right now, I'm still painting. Just painting a second layer because the first layer you could see through it. Oh. Let me just show you the upcoming weekend. I have no idea. Do you know, we've been married for a while now, and I still don't always know what he means about the upcoming weekend. I'm thinking he's talking about next weekend, which maybe he is, which means I won't be in church next weekend. Oh dear. Molly, really? Come up here and... Right. Oh, it's like having a toddler. So, where was I? Broccoli. We are going to have to do this live again, I think. We really are. I think maybe I will record something to go on here. Um, because this is... Let me try. So, this story goes back to when I was a teenager, in lots of ways. So I was watching a program. She's occupied. I was watching a program, and it was a cookery program, and I didn't really watch cookery programs back in the day at all. But for some reason, I was about 16. I was watching a cookery program, and they were cooking a piece of lamb. And something in me switched, and I went, that's it, I'm never eating meat ever again. So for the next 3 years, that's what I did. Now, I decided that veganism, that was a whole other story. Like that was as far as I was concerned when I was 16, that was neon impossible. Like it was impossible to be vegan. Only the really hardcore and quite strange, if I'm honest, when I was a teenager, this is what I thought, the strange people, they were the ones that were vegan. The hippies, dare I say it, the kind of, not travellers, I want to say Buddhists, but not Buddhists, but like the New Age people. The New Age people were not Buddhists. The New Age people were vegan. The hippie people were vegan. That was way too hardcore, and I actually thought it wasn't possible. So anyway, for a few years, for about 3 years, I was vegetarian, and I would buy a lot of my own food. Now, bearing in mind, I was a teenager. I don't even know how I did this. I think I had a couple of jobs at the time. And I would make a lot of my own food. I think I still ate fish a little bit. I'm pretty sure I ate fish, which I do a little bit now, but not massively. Okay, so you're going to come up on my lap, and you're going to be a good little chihuahua, and you're not going to make chaos, okay? Are we agreed? You're not going to make chaos. You see, she's already smelling the paint. She's already thinks the tea is for her and it is not for you. So where were we? Yes. So I remember there was a shop in the local area which I would frequent quite a lot. It was a vegetarian shop, and back in the day, I mean, the kind of vegetarian food then, like almost like the processed stuff, it was all powder. Do you know what? I don't even remember what I would eat. I think I ate a lot of nut roasts. Probably ate like vegetarian sausages. Probably ate like a lot of dairy, I would imagine. What are you eating? What are you eating? What are you eating? Oh, he chomps like that. I'm concerned. What are you eating? It is like having a toddler. Honestly, it's like having a toddler. You're eating something. You're eating something you shouldn't have eaten. Now she wants to give me kisses. Do you know she gives Reggie kisses? I just draw the line at kisses. She tries to, like the other morning, somebody stayed over, and she was trying to lick their nose. It was quite funny. Anyway, where were we? Yes. So I don't remember what I ate. I need to kind of like really think. I think I ate a lot of lentil roasts, a lot of nut roasts, a lot of like vegetarian sausages, a lot of dairy, a lot of pizza. Because we've never been a family who have done like extravagant like cooking and stuff. So I just don't know what I ate. And consequently, because I can't remember what I ate, didn't do it very well. I was like anemic, and I had no energy. And bearing in mind, I'm doing this from being 16 to 19, right through probably my GCSEs, my A levels, and my first year of university, up until I think it was May 1997. So yeah, that's for 3 years, and I honestly, yeah, don't remember what I ate, and I found it really hard, but I was determined that I was going to be vegetarian. And it wasn't like I was like, oh, going to be vegetarian for 3 years. This was me for life. I was going to be vegetarian. But what happened was, I put my name down to go to South Africa with church at the time, and I thought, golly, I'm not going to be able to be vegetarian in South Africa, because I thought, gosh, in South Africa they'd probably just eat meat all the time. So these seeds and these thoughts of like not being vegetarian started to take root. And then I thought I was going to go to Kenya with Christian Aid for like the work experience part of my degree. So this would be this would be the second year of university. Do you know what? Maybe it was longer. I think it was work experience for university. Not entirely sure. It's all blurs into one. But anyway, so I started to like have these kind of like, well, maybe, I'm gonna have to not be vegetarian for going to Africa, but essentially. So maybe I need to break this idea of being vegetarian. So I succumbed to, I remember there was one time I got invited. Oh, she's eating a sponge. Excuse me. Molly! No. Goodness knows what that's got on it. It's not just the fact that I don't want her tearing things apart. Sometimes she's gonna poison herself. No, we don't do that. Yeah, okay, you can come back up here. Right. Where was I in my story? So I started to come to the, I don't know if Reggie knows this story. I don't even know if he's watching anymore. Let me know if you're still there, love. And for those, okay, Molly, no, we're not eating the painting. Oh, dear me. The amount of time it's taking me to tell this story, we're probably going to have to do part 2 next week at this rate. But you never know, I might get to the end of my story and kind of bringing it to today. I'm going to do some down there as well, but let's do these ones here. And I want to kind of like actually paint for you a proper strawberry so that you can see that they're actually being painted. I've got 2 phones now, so ideally if I had 2 phones I'd be able to be photographing me painting, filming me painting, have this live going on and keep going with the story. Anyway, back to being a vegetarian. So these seeds started to, and I remember going to lunch at someone's house and they had chicken. And I think I thought to myself, well, it's only once, and I'm going to have to break being a vegetarian anyway because I'm going to Africa and I can't be a vegetarian in Africa. So I started to eat chicken, and then from there I got a taste for chicken, and then from there I got a taste for bacon, and that was it then. I just decided, this is too hard. This being a vegetarian is too hard, and I'm just making myself ill. So by the time I finished uni, I was a full-blown meat eater once again. And I worked in my last year, no, in my second year of uni. Gosh, I could tell you lots about uni, but at uni I did theology and art degree, and I partied a lot in the first year. I partied a bit in the first year, a lot in the second year, and nothing in the third year because I was going to fail my degree. And I decided that I was the academic officer. Really, ironically, I was the academic officer for the student union, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm being advocate for people to for them to not fail their degree, and here I am, and I'm going to end up failing my degree. So I just decided this is it. I'm not gonna be academic officer, and I'm going to work really hard on my degree, and I'm going to pass my degree. Now, had I worked much harder in my second year, or my second year, because it's my second year where I didn't really work that hard, I think I would have got a much higher grade, and I only got a 2-2. And I think had I worked harder, I could have got a 2-1, or at least, I could have got a first, or at least a 2-1. And yet I only got a 2-2, which actually isn't very that good. Now, when I did my degree, now in my adulthood, I got a merit, I believe. So I did much better. Although they really are past merit distinction, so in some ways it was the same. But yeah, because a third wouldn't really be a pass. A 2-2 was a pass. And I don't really know whether me, having a qualification like that, whether it's actually made any difference to my life or not, whether I would have been able to get a better job had I got a 2-1 or a first. Who knows? But I didn't, and yeah, that was due to way too much partying in my second year. So yeah, I just decided by the time I finished university I was a meat eater. Because I decided it was just too hard. Now, all the way through my life, I've always liked kind of vegetables. I've always liked vegetarian food. I'm not sure about vegan. I just thought vegan was way too difficult. Always had that impression. And so, yeah, I've always liked vegetables, which is a gift, really. I've always loved broccoli, and discovered lots about cauliflower. The cauliflower is amazing. It's so versatile, and I've been really blessed that I've had friends that eat well, and they have taught me a lot of how to do things. Because the truth is, I didn't really learn to cook at home from my family. My family have always been kind of your meat there, your vegetables there, and your potatoes there. And even the amount of not the amount, but the type of vegetables that we ate were quite limited. I've discovered there's a huge array of vegetables that one can eat. So really taught myself how to cook, through my life, and found that I actually quite like cooking. I would, I started to. I remember when I cooked at university, I would take hours. Like, I don't even know what I was doing, but I would take literal hours to cook a meal, 3 hours. And now, I've just had cauliflower and tofu curry and rice for dinner, which is one of my staples. It's something I eat a lot, and I used to make it with halloumi before I was vegan. That I learned off a first aid instructor. Actually, he said what he was having for dinner, and I was like, "What a great idea! Halloumi and cauliflower." Mm. So that is one of my staples, and rather than halloumi, I use tofu. So I mean, I'm pretty creative in terms of food, and I've always been that way. So let me tell you how this all came about. So for a few years, I would hear these what do you call it? people doing what you call the Daniel fast. And the reason why, as Christians, we do the Daniel fast is more about the fasting as opposed to the food. It's not because we don't agree with meat, or we don't like meat, or anything like that. It's more of a way to fast that is not 40-day water fast. And so it's called the Daniel fast. And it is from the book of Daniel. So this program is not, it's not entirely kind of spiritual, but just to explain to you where it's from. So, but from the book of Daniel, at the beginning of the book of Daniel, they are in Babylon, which is not a Jewish city. The Jews, so the people of God, have been exiled from their promised land of Israel, and they have been sent into captivity. And Daniel is quite an amazing chap, and he also has some friends. And so it's like they're at the University of Babylon, understanding and discovering the culture of Babylon as captives, really. But they worship God, but they're not meant to or really allowed to worship God. Now, the food that was being offered to them, they were offered the best meats, the best everything, because they were at the University of Babylon and they were studying at the highest level, and it's like they were kind of like king officials sort of thing, and they were offered the best food. And yet they decided that because this food and this meat in particular had been offered to a foreign god, had been offered to, like, I don't know if it was Baal, but like to a foreign god, they would not eat the king's meat, even though it was the best, and even though it could have got them into real hot water. So they said, well, do you know what, because we don't want to eat this king's meat, we're not going to eat any meat at all, so it's going to make it easy. We're not going to eat any meat at all, and we're just going to eat vegetables, and we're just going to eat like nuts and everything from the ground, everything that's natural. We're not even going to have sugar. We're not going to have, anything that's like fake, or we're not going to have this rich food. We're just going to have very kind of, not boring, but yeah, kind of boring, plain, wholesome, food like vegetables and stuff. And so they decide, and I think it was for like 21 days, they decide that we're going to eat vegetables. And they say to the person who's like their boss, they say, look, if we don't look better than all the people who are eating meat, then you can put us back on meat. Because they knew that God would keep them. And I'm talking about veganism, and you guys are probably like, what has this got to do with? But I'm talking about the Daniel fast for anybody who's just joined us, which essentially is a vegan diet. And so they knew that God would keep them. They knew that natural food, they knew that vegetables and eating what's natural, so like nuts and kind of pulses and beans and all of that, was better, and God would honour them for eating that natural food and not eating the meat that had been offered to idols. So after 21 days they come back, and guess what, they look healthier, brighter, they have more energy than all the people that are eating the best, richest food from the king's table. So the king official goes, well, seeing as you look better than all the other people, you may as well carry on, because obviously it's this fast, not this fast, but this stop eating my paint, Molly. this fast you're doing, or this food that you're eating, it's obviously good for you. And I think they might even have got everybody else to go on it as well and to stop eating meat. I'd need to check the Bible for that. Sorry, excuse me. Molly, stop. Stop eating paper. I have to move everything out of the way because she just wants to eat absolutely everything. Stop it. Oh, chihuahuas. Chihuahuas. Chihuahua, 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 chihuahua. Maybe she's hungry. I'll go down afterwards and see whether she's hungry. I've been giving her fish food, literally. Like, it's food that's made out of fish. And she quite liked it, but then I started to give her this meat one, and I think, you can't make a chihuahua vegan. You can't make a dog vegan. I think there might be some sort of, what are you eating? Stop. There might be some kind of like vegan-y things out there to make your dog vegan, but I don't know. I don't think it's very fair. So a few times, so in January, traditionally, lots of Christians, and not just Christians now, but lots of Christians to start with, would do what's called the Daniel fast. They would consecrate 3-4 weeks or a whole month to God, and they would do the Daniel fast as a way to give their year to God. I don't know whether other people caught on this idea, but in January, lots of people abstain from different things, kind of like a New Year's resolution. So lots of people would would have, like, I think there's one where they don't drink alcohol, and then there would be ones where people would not eat meat, and they would call it veganary, and it's a big thing, and it's a big thing in the shops even. Like when I go into the supermarkets, they're all doing veganary, veganaria, something like that. So a few times, I think twice, I tried to be a vegan. Or I didn't try to be a vegan. I tried to do the Daniel fast. And each time I would fail miserably. Like, because it's a lot of beans, it's a lot of pulse, it's a lot of lentils. And my body each time just rejected it. And so I'd get to 2.5 weeks, and I'd have to go, you know what? I can't do this. Like, I feel physically ill. And it's funny because I've heard quite a few people say how they feel physically ill doing it. So I would have to give up, which was kind of a shame, because I would quite enjoy the food, but to be honest with you, I had no idea what I was doing, and don't know if I know what I'm doing now. But well, I think I've been doing this now for 4 years. I think I've been vegan for 4 years, and I have to say I'm not a strict vegan, and I'll explain in a minute why I'm vegan. But I'm not vegan for necessarily let's save the planet. I'm not vegan because I have anything against people killing animals. Not that I like killing animals, but I believe that animals were put on, they can be put on earth for people to eat. I don't turn my nose up at people eating meat at all. But actually now I'm not even that bothered about eating meat at all. Yeah. And there was something I used to make that was like a lamb and pomegranate. But you know what? I found ways of recreating what I would eat as a meat eater, but recreating it to make it vegan, which is interesting, but I've been able to do that. So, as many of you know, I'm a Christian, and it really does affect everything that I do, the way I think, what I eat, all of it. Excuse me. Molly, stop. She literally can find anything and cause chaos. Stop it. Oh, dear me. Right, I think I'm going to actually try and do. Oh, okay, so it's like, let's do some Right. Yeah, I'll just do this bit here, and then I'm going to try and put some yellow on some, see if we can make these into proper strawberries. So, so God had been speaking to me about Daniel, and I'd been thinking about Daniel, and I'd come across lots of this. Excuse me, Molly, come here. Ay, ay, ay. Sit, just sit. Okay, sit. I'd come across this. You will have heard this show called Game Changer. I can't remember if at that point I was already vegan or. And you know, it's been very fashionable now for some years, being vegan. But like I said, I just thought it was impossible. I did not think this was something that I could do, because I'd tried a couple of times before and absolutely, utterly failed. And so I'd felt God speaking to me about Daniel fasts. I think I'd even seen some videos about people who'd done Daniel fasts and how they'd been able to cure themselves of incurable diseases. Mm. So this got me thinking, and it was weird. It was like God was telling me what was going on in my body before it had been found out. So I remember for months literally having conversations with God about Daniel fast and about what would I do if this happened, and how would I not face it, but what would I do about it? Now, I'd actually had a breast cancer scare in 2016. Since then, it's happened loads of times, but it's not really been a scare because I understand now what's going on. But I had that happened, and it really, I think that's when it made me think about what I was eating, what I was doing, and my lifestyle and all of that. So me and Reggie had been, and I'm going to talk about the bigger subject of this. We're only got like 20 minutes to go, and but I'm going to talk about more about the bigger subjects of the implications of this. But me and Reggie have been trying for children for about 18 months, and nothing was happening. Now, bearing in mind, I've always been slightly on the older side, and we talked about, you know, what happens if we can't have children because of my age. But I went for a routine checkup, but actually the checkup was delayed because of COVID. So I went for, like, you know, just to check everything was okay. Had the whatever it is you have. I guess it's a biopsy, not a biopsy, colonoscopy. Was it colonoscopy? Something like that. No, not colonoscopy. Anyway, whatever it is. I had that, and joked to the guy that the next time he would see me was when I was pregnant. And 2 days later, I get an email to say, you need to come in back tomorrow to discuss what they'd found. It's like, oh, and I knew exactly what they'd found before they even told me. And so unfortunately they found traces of cancer cells in my womb. No, not in my womb, in polyps, in the polyps that they found. And that meant that I had a diagnosis of stage 1A womb cancer, which was a massive blow. Like, I was not expecting it at all. But I always say diagnosis because I do not own it, because I still have that diagnosis, but I do not own it. Cut a long story short, I decided to take drastic action with my diet, basically, and I was just like, well, I'd been talking to God about the Daniel fast, and I knew that was it. I had to do it. I had to become a vegan. I had to start clean eating. I had to change my life, my diet, and everything. Put things in, put look into all the ways that I could make myself well. And on the other hand, I pushed for a treatment that is a that isn't was a, still an experimental treatment, even though it's been going for 20 years. I think it might be 20, 10, 15, 20 years. Still considered to be an experimental treatment. Don't really understand why it's still an experimental treatment, but it is. And it took me a long time as well to get to the point where I was allowed to do that. Because everybody wanted me to have surgery, and I didn't want to have surgery, and until this day, at the moment, so far, I've not had surgery, and I've managed to still keep my womb, even though it's probably not considered, even before we found this diagnosis, they were like, oh yes, they were like, oh yeah, no, it's very unlikely that you'll be able to have natural children. But I was like, and I still am, I'm not giving up. I have not given up. So although I face infertility every day, and we do as a couple, and it's something that's not talked about, and we're going to talk more about it, and I'm going to talk more about it another day. But today we're talking about veganism, and I've only got 15 minutes left, so I think I'm going to have to talk another day more about the vegan side of things. Just want to try and work out how I'm going to... Right, let's do some yellow spots. I've got yellow... Yep, I do. Exciting. Yeah, so from that... So to start with, I was not eating vegan. I was like still having chicken, but I was like frantically trying to find everything that could make me well. So all the different like diets and stuff that would make me well. But then eventually, and I can't remember how I came upon it, but I just felt like I need to do this. I need to this will work. Maybe. Oh yeah, well it looks like it on the camera at least. I just was like, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be vegan. And this time it was do or die. I was like, I'm just not, and I just stopped eating meat completely. I stopped eating chicken, even though there are some schools of thought that say that they kind of, and I started to research loads of stuff. There are some schools of thought that say that chicken skin, when it's like burnt or like really well cooked, is kind of like really good at fighting cancer. And yeah, so that was right slap bang in the pandemic. And to start, and I went through a few weeks of like, I don't know what to eat. Like I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it well. I was a bit clueless, really. Let me do it feel like that. So it's not just like completely like big dots, but there's like little dots as well. And I'm going to paint around some of the dots as well. Yeah, so that's why I'm vegan, everybody. Lots of people ask me and I always go, yeah, it's for health reasons. Hence why I am I'm not like I'm not super strict, but generally in my life I try to be vegan. Right. So let's break that down a little bit. I've only got 10 minutes left, so I'll carry on talking about this next week, which I didn't plan to do, but I think we'll carry on talking about it next week. Maybe we'll go into the kind of like clean eating and stuff next week. And hoping to get some guests on here as well soon. So I started to hear a lot of things, and I never watched Game Changers, but I didn't need to watch it. I just knew that nowadays they are just pumping so much rubbish into our food, and particularly into kind of like meat and stuff. Now I know that vegetables, there's still to some degree there's still kind of like quite a lot of rubbish in our vegetables, in the sense of like they put pesticides on them and all of that. And I try to have organic, I do, but organic is quite expensive. um but and actually when I lived in Lancashire, I would have farm vegetables. I would have organic vegetables, and I will be going back to that, I think, as well, uh, rather than having supermarket. Because on the one hand, I want to support, um, you know, uh, small businesses, um, but and also I just don't think that the the supermarket should have the monopoly. I really don't. They just shouldn't. They shouldn't have a monopoly. They shouldn't. You know. And I think it's less likely that there's rubbish. When you're looking at farm stuff. And I try and get organic. But organic is expensive. Oh my word! Hello, Molly. Ugh, I'm being attacked by a chihuahua. Oh my word. We'll talk about you another week. Okay? Are you getting jealous that we're talking about veganism? Is that it? Oh dear me. So where was I? Yeah. So try to yeah. So but you know what? Now I really love being vegan, and it's been such a journey, such a massive journey, um, of discovery, of what to eat and how to cook things and how to change things up and discovering things. And for the first, because of the diagnosis, for the first like probably a year, right through the pandemic, because this happened in the pandemic, I wouldn't have any processed food. Like I literally took all processed food out of my diet, because I was like, well, if the reason why I'm vegan is to get rid of processed food, as in meat, because they pump loads of like antibiotics. I mean, it's worse in the States. Oh boy, excuse me, Molly, really? We've got a few more minutes, and you're being very attention seeking. Well, give it to me then. Aye. We will carry this on next week. Um, but yeah, it was a journey of discovery of um, the versatilia, if you like, of vegetables. And I had kind of discovered lots of vegetables like sweet potato, squash, obviously cauliflower. But I found that vegetables are so versatile, and it's like God. I know that lots of you out there, this doesn't make sense, but he's just interested in everything, and he was so interested in my diet. Like he would literally bring the right people along, the right advice along. I would come across the right things, and he would show me kind of like what to do. Now, I've never been able to make my own cheese. I really would love to make my own cheese. And at one point I decided I'm just gonna buy cheese. I've been, excuse me, Molly, stop. I've been what's it, close. I kind of made kind of like a cashew type. Well, she's only really chewing cardboard, so what harm can that do? Yeah. What was I saying? I'm quite happy with this. It's coming along now. We're actually like seeing that this is a. Hopefully you can tell that these now are strawberries. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, so do you know what I found? That I think she wants me to pick her up again. I found that, okay, and so don't get insulted. If you're a meat eater, don't get insulted by this. But I think that when it comes to meat, you know, the meat is the main event, isn't it? The when you're cooking and stuff, your meat is the main event. And so in some ways the meat is what makes a meal tasty. Excuse me. Molly, come here. Molly. She's now chewing other things. You're very naughty. You're very naughty. It's like, I'm not getting enough attention, so I'm going to be naughty. But, oh, let me, no. Remove this so you can see. There we go. You can hopefully see. Oh, she wants to get a toy. Yeah. I think I'm going to outline the strawberries a bit for you so you can see that. I've not got a brown. I've not got. I've only got like a rubbishy brown one. This one here. But it's all seeping out. But I just want to, just gonna see if this works. To keep it in here so it doesn't go everywhere. You can't see. I'm talking about this. It's all. If I squeeze it, it's going to go everywhere. So, which paintbrush was I using then? Was I using that one? Yeah, it was. I don't want this to go wrong. Right, oh, there we go. Let's see whether I can go around the edge of the strawberry with the brown, which will help it. That's not working as well as I wanted it to. You can't see on Instagram, so what I'll do is I'll post some pictures of the strawberry. No, that doesn't work very well. Maybe. See on there. I just want to. Molly, what's up? What? She's like, if you don't throw it to me, I'm going to squeak. Hi there, Henley Arts Trail. Rachel. Oh, let me just wave at these people. So I've been talking tonight about my vegan journey, and I'm going to carry on this. Well, not discussion, because it's me talking literal broccoli. I'm going to talk about it next week. But I was just before I finish, yeah. So that's my chihuahua squeaking, wanting me to play. I can't even reach the toy. If Reggie was here, this would not be the case. Anyway, yes. So I was just saying that meat tends to be the main event, but as a vegan, I've had to learn how to be very creative in the kitchen and very creative with vegetables. And it's been fun. It's been a fun journey, and I've learned to cook. So what I tend to do, and I'll finish with this, and I'll talk more about this next week, because I've kind of come to the end of things today. As you can see, these strawberries are starting to take shape a little bit. Let me see whether I can just draw around this one. So that you can see it. Yeah, I need to go off here now. It's 8 o'clock. But we'll talk more next week about being vegan, about different, just my journey of being vegan. I've talked about on here, and I'll recap next week of why I'm vegan and the Daniel fast and all of that we talked about this week. That for those of you that have just come on, but you'll be able to watch this later on in the week on YouTube, and you'll see the full story of why I'm vegan. But yeah, so it's 8 o'clock, and I've got another meeting now that I have to be on, and so I will see you all. That went very quickly indeed. Before I go, let me just show you what I've done. I'll just bring it close up to the camera. So Instagram, there we go. I'm painting my strawberries. I've been making them, starting to put speckles on them, and there we go as well for Facebook. But they're not finished. Still got a lot to do. Might do some stuff in the week, but we'll see. But that was an hour, and it went very fast. And we'll be back next week with more Come Paint With Me, and we'll probably continue this discussion of veganism, and I will we'll talk more about what it's like to be a vegan, the good things, the bad things, and why it's worked this time more than any other time. 8:02, so I know I've not been on here quite an hour, but I have a meeting at 8 o'clock, so which my hubby wants me to be on, so I've got to do that. But it's been great to see you all, and please like, comment and share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then I can go live on YouTube, which would be great. We are halfway there. I'm almost at 30 subscribers. I need just 21 more, and I'll be able to go live on YouTube. Alrighty, this was Come Paint With Me, and I will see you all next week. Good night, God bless. I'll finish here as well. Ciao for now.